Howdy, yokes. Before we get started today, we want to let you know that this episode of Bacon and Eggs and every episode is brought to you by our Patreon. We just came off of a 3-month hiatus, and now it's more important than ever that we get some support over there on Patreon. This is absolutely a revenue generator for our homes and our lives, and if this podcast brings value to you, we'd love for you to bring value to the podcast and help us out in any way that you can. All you have to do is head over to patreon.com/baconandeggs. There's a bunch of different reward tiers over there that will be revamped very soon. But take a look, sign up for a reward tier that makes sense for you. Anything as little as $1 to $3 to $5 makes a huge difference for us and allows us to continue to grow and expand the show. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for donating. And let's get on with the show. Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And today we're going through the multiverse, apparently. Nope, that's not it.
And today we're going back to our homeland. Or maybe we're just speaking with an English accent.
You know, honestly, this all works pretty well.
This is the... I didn't realize we were waiting. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm leaving it.
Today we're talking about Thor, Love and Thunder.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Roll the intro. All right. Thor, Love and Thunder, directed by Taika Waititi, came out 5 days ago as of this recording, 7 days ago as you're watching it or listening to it. It had a $250 million budget and has currently made $315.5 million worldwide box office. 67% critic rating and an 80% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 57 on Metacritic. Ethan, do you have a professional negative review for me?
1 second. Maybe. Rotten Tomatoes on my phone is awful.
Rotten Tomatoes on the cell phone is the worst
website. God, I haven't used Rotten Tomatoes in 3 months. Legitimately. We got a negative review here from Rafer Guzman of Newsday, who says, where Ragnarok poked irreverent fun into genre, Love and Thunder feels geared toward the faithful, packed with the kind of cutesy asides and knowing winks that tend to exasperate outsiders. Do you have a professional positive review for me?
I do, but I like Guzman's review here. Stephen Romai from The Australian, this is the top critic, says, hold on, how do they talk? Oh no!
This movie was awful.
Chris
it's a
Hemsworth,
positive review, so I love this movie.
Chris Hemsworth is almost vaudevillian in Thor, Love and Thunder. One of the funnier superhero movies. Superhero.
One of the funniest superhero movies ever made.
I've seen 3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5.
Quick, out of 100. What's your score?
65.
65.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have an answer to this question.
It's like you texted me. It is so weird that we're doing this live.
It is weird.
We've done this twice. Well, listeners, if you're not watching this on YouTube, Tyler and I are
in the same
room next to each other for we did this once for, I think, Black Panther.
We did do it for Black Panther. It was at my old house.
Yeah, your old house.
Yeah.
And then we did it once with Seamus Gorman.
Yeah.
But this is our first time doing it live in person on video.
For Onward, what we talked
Onward,
with
Onward, yeah,
because that was my last pre-COVID movie.
Same. I mean, I think it was like, if anybody that saw Onward in theaters, I think it was their last pre-COVID movie. So you texted me 2 days before this came out, and you said, "I don't think there's any way I'm not gonna love it," and I felt the same way. And then I saw it, and I was like, I don't hate it. I sure don't love it. Do you love it?
You can't bottle lightning twice, okay?
You really can't, and they tried so hard.
And Ragnarok was really a bottling of lightning. I do think what Guzman is saying here, Ragnarok poked irreverent fun at the genre Love and Thunder feels geared toward the faithful. I think it was weird. I think I'm going to go for 70.
Okay.
I think what happened was...
Would I say 65?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think Feige sat down with Taika Waititi before the first one and was like, okay, you can do your thing, but here's your restrictions.
Yeah.
And like, it's because of these comic book reasons, blah, blah, blah. And what I think happened on this one is Feige sat down with Taika Waititi and was like, do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
And no, hold on. This is what happened. Is Taika Waititi was like, I'm going to over-restrict myself.
Yeah.
With comic book lore.
Comic book lore and comedy.
Yes.
It was too funny.
It wasn't laugh out loud funny
No, it wasn't,
enough.
but he tried so... Okay, listen. Let's get a goat out of the room.
No, I think the goats are the key.
Cut the goats.
I think the goats are the key. I think if you thought the goats were funny, then this is a top 5 Marvel movie.
Sure, yeah, and I've seen that from some people. But if you didn't think the goats were funny, it was okay. The goats were funny the first time. They were funny the second time. They were not funny the 100th time. That it was just like, screech!
It never stopped.
It was awful. It was just awful.
And I think what happens is if you're Taika Waititi and you're sitting down, and I've never read the comics that this is all based on, but if you're reading through those original comics and they play that joke out 2 or 3 times per issue, and the arc spans 6 or 7 issues, then you're like, oh, I can just get away with it.
Right, which may very well be true.
Right.
But that's not the case.
Right.
Because you know where the goats came from? Taika Waititi is a huge fan of that Taylor Swift video where they put the goats over I Knew You Were Trouble.
No way.
That's at least what I saw on the internet.
I saw,
but like not on Tumblr, like from a website.
Well, I saw an interview he did where he said it was direct from Norse mythology. Now I don't know. Now that could be a marrying of ideas, right?
I mean, I'm sure that goat screaming is from Norse mythology, but like,
right. But the Taylor Swift thing.
So I want to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Christian Bale crushed it.
Way too hard.
Gore the God Butcher.
Way too hard.
But Gore the God Butcher was such a stupid character.
You think?
Yeah. Because they set him up the whole time to have this redemption arc, right? Like, he kidnaps the kids. Why does he kidnap the kids? To prove that gods won't come after the kids.
Right.
And you know what happens? The
God.
gods come after the kids in force.
Right.
Thor kills Zeus.
Right.
Well,
For the
doesn't.
kids.
He doesn't. But Thor kills Zeus for the kids. He murders Zeus. Throws a lightning bolt through his heart for the kids. And Gore the God Butcher didn't want to learn the lesson. That was the thing, is he was never going to learn. Right? Because they had to set you up for this BS bait and switch where they were like, a guy that's called the God Butcher, what do you think he's going to wish for? For all the gods to be dead. And he's like, actually, I'm going to wish for my daughter to be alive again.
I'm Christian Bale.
I'm Christian Bale. Are you watching closely? I'm Alfred Baldwin. Christian Bale in that scene where he's like talking to the kids and is like sitting crisscross applesauce in the cage with them, and it's just like, the gods aren't coming for you. I was terrified. Absolutely crushing it. He ever since Ford versus Ferrari, he has just been let loose to be weird British guy instead of like having to be Mr. Restricted.
Yeah.
You know.
Makes me want to let him get another
Bruce
go
Wayne.
at Bruce Wayne.
I don't know, man.
Robert Pattinson's so good.
It was so good, but also like the Dark Knight movies are so good. I don't want them to redo them.
Oh no, I know.
You know,
I do think that if DC, just to tangent a little bit, I want to get back to.
I want to talk. Let's tangent to DCEU.
No,
here's my pitch. Cancel it entirely.
Cancel it entirely.
You know, because you know why? You can't. Nobody wants to go see The Flash anymore. Ezra Miller's canceled. They're a terrible person. Amber Heard's canceled. And also, I don't know if you've seen the trailers. Black Adam looks awful.
You think it looks bad?
I think it looks so bad.
I saw a trailer before Thor: Love and Thunder. I noticed there's that one scene where he's like flying next to the planes where they're trying to like mirror Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
And he like just knocks the plane out of the air instead of saving the pilot. I just don't get it.
His whole thing of like, superheroes don't kill, but I do.
So you're not a superhero.
And Pierce Brosnan's like, okay, well, that's not really how it works.
Right. Then you're not.
Then you're not a superhero, my dude.
Although Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, I think is going to be very cool.
Or it is the DCU, so it might be terrible.
It might be terrible.
These are the same people that cast Jared Leto as the Joker.
Yeah, but Marvel cast, or I guess Sony cast Jared Leto as Morbius.
Yeah, and it made him more $1 billion.
Did it really?
No, that was the meme.
I thought that.
Have you not seen the meme?
I know it's Morbin time.
Yeah. The Morbin time meme where the dude, like, before it came out, I think, tweeted that and was like, the greatest part of Morbius was when he said, it's Morbin time, and then morbed all over those dudes. And then the people memed it so hard that Sony put it back in theaters. And it made $82,000 on the second release.
Can I tell you a story about Morbin time?
Yeah.
I was watching a video recently on the YouTubes about
Old Joe YouTube?
On the old Joe YouTube. About the
That's a video game donkey reference.
Yeah, I know. About the history of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The Mighty Morbin Power Rangers.
No. This is what got me. Is like very early on in the video, they were like, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. What a silly name. Morphin's not even a word. And I was like, it's not? What do you mean morphing is not a word?
Morphing is a word.
Yeah, but morphin, it's a word.
You can't put an N apostrophe abbreviation in the name of your TV show.
Sure you can.
You can't just call it Name's Earl.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. That's a whole different show. Man, you want that debug yourself with a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Morphin.
Mighty Morphin. You stayed in the hawk too long, Tobias.
Anyway, that was my story about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Gore the God Butcher.
Gore the God Butcher.
I like... What's your take on MCU? We haven't been around for, like, any of it, right?
What do you mean?
What have we covered MCU Phase 4 on this show?
Everything except...
Did we do Spider-Man?
We did everything except Doctor Strange and Ms. Marvel.
We didn't do Moon Knight.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do Moon Knight. I honestly forgot that we didn't do Moon Knight.
Did we do Spider-Man?
Yeah, we did Spider-Man.
Do you like it?
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the best Marvel movie ever?
No.
No, it wasn't.
No. It wasn't. It like, as a movie, it might be the worst Marvel movie ever. Like, it's the opposite of The Last Jedi, right? Where, like, The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie, but it's the worst Star Wars movie. So this is not as good as Spider-Man No Way Home.
No, it's not.
This is not as good for me. Now, I know we're going to disagree on this one, and we didn't get to cover it. This is not as good as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
This is so much better.
I do not understand how you did not like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I don't know that this is better than Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I know we're going to cover it on the show. It's a little spoiler for probably next week. I didn't love it.
Yeah, Tyler didn't love it. What else did we miss? We didn't do Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore.
I watched the first 10 minutes
Hey
and turned it
guys,
off.
hey listeners, don't see that movie.
It was not
It was
good.
awful. It was awful, okay? Mads Mikkelsen crushed it as Grindelwald.
Stranger Things 4 finished.
Did you finish it?
Oh, I'm done, yeah.
Oh, are you done?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, so
If they
good.
had ended it at the end of that episode, best TV show ever.
You could tell they did, right? And they got a call from Netflix that was like, one more season.
Yeah, and it's just going to be Avengers Endgame, but Stranger
Right.
Things. Like, it's not going to be... not. The way I phrase that, people are going to think I'm saying that Avengers Endgame is not good. I don't think Avengers Endgame is a good thing for Stranger Things. I'm nervous about season 5.
If Sean Astin is in season 5 as like a living, breathing character.
I mean, I'd freak out. Bob Newby comes back.
I'll tell you what, talking about Stranger Things and Thor Love and Thunder, I have 2 celebrity crushes in this world, except for Haley Steinfeld, obviously.
Obviously.
Natalie Portman is in Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Dacre Montgomery is in Stranger Things.
All right.
Every scene he's in, I'm like, God, that guy's
That's an
cool.
attractive man.
That's a cool dude.
That's an attractive
I
man.
want to be that guy.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Stranger Things 4 yet, go do it. Like, if you were cold on seasons 2 or 3, I just rewatched all of them. I understand you. I liked them all when they came out. They're not... Seasons 2 and 3 aren't the best. Season 4 makes them good. And I hear you saying, like, oh, I don't like that kind of writing. Like, each season just stand on its own. I'm that guy, okay? I get that. But, like, season 4 made everything make sense. in such an important way. I don't even know if you know all of that because you didn't just rewatch the whole show.
I did not.
Yeah.
And every time they do flashbacks on season 4, I would be like, oh man, I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, you should go back and rewatch the first 3 seasons because like it's one of those things where I want to go back now knowing the twist.
Yeah.
And see where it was set. Because they swear, they George Lucas swear that they had the whole thing planned. And they only, listen, I will believe that under one condition. If at the end of season 5, they pull back and the whole thing's been a D&D campaign, that they filmed the scene for it back in 2014.
Right.
Then I'll believe it, right? That we get 10-year-old Noah Schnapp again.
Right.
Playing Will the Wise. Like, then I'll believe you. Until then, stop lying about planning things out. Just say you wrote stuff.
We're going to talk Stranger Things 4 also in depth.
Yeah.
So maybe next week. Who knows? But I love how much, and maybe it's just because like I am a DM now, so I get a lot more, like I'm so much more well-versed in D&D.
Sure.
But I love how overt they are with like the character archetypes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, especially in season 4.
Yeah.
Where there's like, they're like, we introduced a new character. He's a bard. He is a bard.
He is a bard.
This is a bard. This is a lawful evil cleric.
Yeah.
This
Eddie Munson. What a
so
guy.
Good.
Eddie Munson's a great. The fact that every woman in the world is down bad for Eddie Munson is a great reminder to you weirds out there that are like either metalheads or way too into D&D. Just shower a couple times, you'll probably get laid.
Have a chiseled jawline.
Be hot and British, and you'll probably get laid.
Be in Stranger Things.
Be in Stranger Things. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Gore the God Butcher. I think Christian Bale puts it. Here's where Thor: Love and Thunder wins for me. Okay, there's a lot to not like about this. The jokes are overdone.
The pacing may be the worst ever.
That honestly, like, I did not notice that as an issue in the movie.
Seriously.
Yeah,
normally a problem. That's normally a problem for you.
I walked out feeling like I want a movie to feel like it happened pretty quickly. And that's how I felt walking out of this.
Oh, man. The first 30 minutes were just like, think.
Was I wrong in that there was...
What? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The first scene... Did this happen? Was it my theater? Was it your theater? Was it everybody's theater? Where, like, the movie just started? Like, they didn't... I was at a Regal. They didn't do the, like, Minions on a roller coaster thing. The movie, like, it was, like, preview, movie.
Oh, they did the Minions on a roller coaster for me. But, yeah, it was definitely abrupt.
I didn't realize the movie had started.
It was definitely abrupt.
Yeah. Because I thought I was watching, like, a Matt Damon, The Martian 2.
That scene was cool, except for the fact that Marvel, you got to figure the CGI out, guys. You're going to spend $215 million on this movie. 250. Yeah. This movie looks like ass.
Yeah, it does not look good.
This movie looks like ass. Riley, a guy I work with, pointed out today that it is, and I might agree with him on this, that black and white scene, he thinks was because it looked so bad that they had to make it black and white.
So that's actually what I was going to flip everything on, was that the black and white scene was perfect.
Perfect. Came out great.
It was extremely cool.
He was pointing out different like facets of it that like looked like they were lit wrong for that thing, and like they tried to do something else and then just failed and decided, nah, this is gray world.
This is, yeah. But that, to me, that's what I was going to get to, was like, there may be issues with the movie, but that whole sequence in black and white where the light from the weapons lights and colors them.
I want to believe it was unintentional for that reason, just because that makes it so much better.
Right.
Like, that is a perfect scene.
Yeah.
But like the CGI, especially in that first scene where Gore goes to meet whatever god that is, like his face isn't on right.
Right.
Like
it looks like
it is a guy wearing a green suit, but they didn't face track him correctly.
It looks like a Fruit Roll-Ups commercial.
Just like Marvel, what is your allergy to using sets?
I don't know.
Like, because if you look at the behind the scenes of these movies, they're all just shot in big green rooms.
Yeah.
On like blocks and stuff. Just make a set. It won't kill you, I promise. You don't need to CGI a neighborhood. Because like that thing they do in the Star Wars shows where they have the like big projection screens.
That's awesome.
It looks awesome.
It looks very cool. But I have a feeling Disney's like, one of you can rent it, and it's
one of these exists,
and it's Jon Favreau.
And the thing is I truly think it comes down to, because they put so many of these out in the last year and a half, so many of these movies.
Yeah. Oh, it's a timing thing.
I truly think it comes down to they spent all of the time on Eternals. Because the CGI in Eternals was beautiful. And they used every motion graphics, every CGI warehouse I've ever heard of. For Eternals.
I want to revisit Eternals because people don't seem to like it.
Oh, because it was garbage. It was garbage sauce.
I really enjoyed it.
It was terrible.
And in my memory, it's fantastic.
Oh my God. Why were the Guardians of the Galaxy in this movie?
I don't know. It was that was the most jarring thing to me out of everything, was that like Chris Pratt wasn't in shape for the role, which is fine.
And he was not performing the role.
No, yeah, he was like being responsible and
like also just phoning the whole thing in.
Right.
Like I think everybody was CGI'd in except him.
Yeah, they had like Bradley Cooper do like one line.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing. And like that whole sequence to me was like, Why is this? What is going on?
Like,
I guess it's
for them to ditch him 15 minutes in. Like, if they were gonna ditch him, they could have just been like, could have had Korg do a voiceover,
right,
and been like, "This is what happened to Thor after he split with the Guardians of the Galaxy."
Right.
And that was it.
That was such a weird sequence.
I don't want to get hung up on what this movie was promised to be, right? But like, this was supposed to be the last Hemsworth Thor movie, right? This was supposed to be Jane Foster takes over as Thor.
I thought the bait and switch there was fantastic.
I agree. But it was also supposed to be like not really about Hemsworth. It was supposed to be like Valkyrie finds her king. She's supposed to be her queen, sorry. She's king. Yeah. Valkyrie finds her queen. Like it was supposed to be about like the kind of like secondary character, which to be fair, I would kill for like an Office type TV show about New Asgard, like Parks and Rec, right. About New Asgard.
New Asgard. I think Valkyrie, I saw some comments where Valkyrie was underutilized, and I generally agree with that. I don't feel like we got the development out of Valkyrie that I wanted, but I also think Valkyrie is kind of a shallow character. Like it's hard. Valkyrie was a great character to introduce in Thor Ragnarok and kind of just like exist in that movie.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there was very much development beyond that.
Sure.
That needed to happen. And maybe that's because we got this and there was no development, right?
Right.
So maybe that's where my prejudice is coming from.
I know a lot of because there was a lot of marketing about it from Natalie Portman, from Tessa Thompson, and from Taika that were like, this is a really gay movie. And it just wasn't.
It was a little gay.
It was a little gay, but it wasn't like, it was a step beyond Lightyear.
I haven't seen Lightyear.
We
didn't cover Lightyear.
We didn't cover Lightyear. Lightyear bombed.
Did it?
Lightyear made like $180 million.
Oh my God, poor Pixar.
Which is weird because it was so good.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a tough sell.
It was so good.
I mean, like I'm related to the Pixar theory guy, and I haven't seen it.
It was the hardest I've laughed at a movie in a long time.
Really?
It was very funny. It was the best physical comedy in an animated movie since the Lego Movie, if not ever. Where like it wasn't just people saying jokes.
Right.
And it was brilliant timing. And the weird like because the best character in it is Socks, the robot cat, played by Peter Sohn, the guy that directed The Good Dinosaur.
I watched The Good Dinosaur not too long ago. Slaps.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Slaps.
It's not a very good movie.
But
anyway, and this is the thing, is like if they had made a movie about a robot cat named Socks and just that was it, and it wasn't a Buzz Lightyear movie, it would make $1 billion and have a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Because it was a brilliant character. Anyway, what was I really? Oh yeah, it's beyond Disney's standard. Like, there's a gay character in the background of this scene. They might kiss.
They did that in Rise of Skywalker.
They did that in Onward.
I know.
They did that in Rise of Skywalker, and then cut to a really long shot of a slug being disgusted.
Did they really?
Yeah. If you not, you gotta go look that up at some point. It's like the immediate cut after that is just this like slug-looking character going. And it's like, why? You had to CGI that guy in to do that.
Like you knew this was there.
Yeah, that was somebody's whole job for a year.
Right.
Was to make that slug be homophobic.
This movie, so I've seen a lot of articles that are like Thor Love and Thunder is bad for like was not kind to the queer community. And I think maybe like the marketing and the payoff, that's probably the case. And I also am not gay or queer, so like I can't speak to this. But I will say, as a viewer who is used to seeing extremely heteronormative stuff,
especially from Marvel,
it was nice to see some representation. But that's like my perspective on that is extremely biased.
Well, I've seen queer folks be like, this sucks, and I've also seen queer folks be like, this is awesome. So how are you gonna feel about it? Feel about it. Like
don't let me take it away from you.
What did you like other than Christian Bale?
I liked Christian Bale. I liked Hemsworth. I think he's great as this character.
This is it's his weakest performance since Dark World.
But
it's not his fault, right? Like the writing is weird for Thor in this movie.
It's weird for everybody because they're giving everything to Taika, and I think going into this, on walking on set, I would trust Taika Waititi with my life.
Yeah, sure.
I would give him absolutely any creative freedom.
Yeah.
So it's like, and knowing that like Kevin Feige sat down with incredible directors and was like, all right, Taika, you nailed it as the sort of one-off incredible director in phase 3. So we're going to grab Chloe Zhao. We're going to grab,
Sam Raimi.
We're going to let you do another one.
We're going to let John Watts keep doing the Spider-Man movies. John Watts is in there like, hello.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody I've looked up to my entire life.
I'm here from Sony.
Yeah. I'm on loan.
So you give a movie to Oscar directors like Chloe Zhao, like Sam Raimi, like Taika Waititi, and John Watts, apparently. And who's doing the next one?
Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
Ryan Coogler?
If it's not Ryan Coogler, I have no idea.
I don't want it.
I don't want it anyway.
Honestly, the first one is so good.
Because I think that, like, Chadwick died and they fired Shuri, so, like, I don't really know who's going to happen.
They fired Shuri?
I thought they fired Shuri.
I don't think they would do that.
Because she was, like, super, super, super anti-vax, and, like, nobody wanted to work with her. Like, none of the rest of the cast was like, yeah, we're going to come in and do this. So unless it's just Winston Duke and Daniel Kaluuya being like, we are Wakandans, hello.
The Taika Waititi voiceover.
I took a break from doing Jordan Peele movies to do this. Which new Jordan Peele movie looks awesome?
Nope. Yes, it does. But you give these direct, and the result is like you get Eternals, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful.
But like it
rough
is
on the story.
Cinematography is way too good for the quality story we're getting.
The thing is, we keep letting, and it's just the thing, like, Taika Waititi did not write Thor Ragnarok. He had a hand in it, and he definitely like changed stuff in the script. He inserted Korg a lot more than anybody wanted Korg to be in there, and I think it worked.
Yes,
in Ragnarok.
But it worked because he pushed for more Korg. When we get to Love and Thunder, there's too much Korg.
There is too much Korg. This is the point I'm going to make, though, because like Chloe Zhao wrote Eternals, and I didn't like it, and Sam Raimi wrote Multiverse of Madness, and you didn't like it, and Taika Waititi wrote Thor: Love and Thunder, and neither of us particularly loved it.
Here's my thing about Thor: Love and Thunder, and I'll tell you this: if you took me to see Thor: Love and Thunder at 12 years old, I would beg to go back.
Definitely.
This is more than any other Marvel movie. This is the funniest. This is the one that has a bunch of kids at the end with the power of Thor.
Yeah.
Also, I adored that scene.
Yeah, it was great. And I love the kid. Like, I'm excited for
Love
and Thunder, the movie. Like,
yeah.
Like, if we get a movie of the kid or TV show or whatever of the kid and Thor, I'm all in on that. Because that's the dynamic. We need this, I'm going to say it. I love the ending they gave her. Bringing back Jane Foster was a mistake. Because you didn't give her enough development or enough story as the Mighty Thor. And you made all of the emotional beats of her dying of cancer.
Yes.
Just not hit enough. Can I get another Homs while you're at it?
Yeah. Here's the thing about Jane Foster. I never thought Natalie Portman was going to take over as Thor. Because
I fell
Natalie
for it.
Portman is older than Chris Hemsworth.
I fell for it.
Like, the whole point is, like, Chris Hemsworth's getting too old for this.
Chris Hemsworth isn't getting too old for these. He's just been in it for a long time.
He's been in it forever.
He's the only one left.
No, he's not. Jeremy Renner does it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although he looks... You know what's so funny about Jeremy Renner is in interviews, he talks about how much he freaking loves the character. And as an actor playing the character, I'm like, the guy behind those eyes hates his job.
I think it,
and maybe that's a testament to his acting abilities.
that's the thing is because Clint Barton hates his job.
Right.
Clint Barton hates being Hawkeye.
Right.
Clint Barton wants to be a farmer.
Right. But every time I watch anything Hawkeye, I'm like, dude, that dude is so done with this.
Hawkeye,
He's
the
like,
TV show, is so good.
oh, it's
But, like,
so good. Because it's Haley Steinfeld, so it's like perfect.
but just like, and the thing is, like, we've had enough. We've had enough Hemsworth, right? Like, we've had enough.
I think Marvel, Kevin Feige's sitting there like, what if I bring back Robert Downey Jr.? And so they put out a Thor movie just to like test the waters for what if we have somebody in the role this long? And it was like,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah. and granted, I mark the words. When we get the next one and it's Thor and the Kid and it's fantastic, I'm willing to eat those words, right? Like, I'm fine with that. At the end of the day, I always want these movies to be good. Like, I'm not rooting for them to fail.
Yeah, I think with this is
No, I think it failed. It's already made a pile of money.
it's already made $315 million.
Yeah.
Like,
There was when I got out of my showing, there was like line out the door.
really?
Yeah. Now, I'm sure a lot of people were there to see Minions Rise of Gru, because that's going to make a bajillion dollars. They always do.
I've heard that movie is the funniest movie of the year.
I don't care. The funniest to who? Because it's not me.
It might be.
It's not.
Have you
though.
seen any of them?
Yeah, I saw Despicable Me. It was fine.
Despicable Me is better than fine.
It was fine.
Give it a letterbox score.
A letterbox score?
1 through 5.
1 through 5.
Stars.
3.
But you get to use like 0.25.
3.
3 on the dot.
2.75.
I think
Less than half.
Despicable Me is at least a 3.75.
It was fine. I don't know. I'm over Steve Carell's concept. Anytime I hear his voice at this point, I'm just like, stop.
You know what's crazy? I'm actually coming back around on The Office.
Oh, I
have a confession.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen all of The Office.
I have. It went on too long.
I think there are, because I've watched it. There's scenes with Robert California. I think I've seen all of that.
Yeah.
But then there's scenes with Donna Noble,
Yeah, Catherine Tate.
I don't think I've seen all of that.
Yeah, it got rough.
Because at one point they start like selling like tripods, right?
Yeah. I'm over Krasinski as well, just as a concept.
I'm not. Quiet Place was fantastic.
Yeah, it was fine.
I don't know if you know this. You can look it up on my iPad. This is my lock screen. Let's clear these. I've become a huge Fantastic Four fan.
I hate you.
I really like.
I really don't like you or the Fantastic Four. I'm so not excited for a new Fantastic Four movie.
I'll tell you what's even worse is it's because I've been reading the comics.
That's the one I'm rooting to fail. That's the one I truly want to fail.
It's already failed.
What do you mean?
I mean, like the 2014 Fantastic Four with Miles Teller.
Right, no, I'm rooting for the reboot to fail.
I think, you know what's so crazy about it is they could cast the exact same cast from the Fantastic and make an amazing freaking
If you tell me that there's a movie coming out starring Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, and Kate Mara, and honestly, Jamie Bell, like that guy was fine.
The Thing?
Yeah, he was a lead in Jumper.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times.
I've seen it once, but it's a movie that sticks very hard in my head for some reason. Yeah, dude, like if you tell me there's a movie coming out starring Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, and Kate Mara tomorrow, I'm like, sign me up.
A superhero movie.
I'm gonna go see it. Doesn't matter if it's a superhero movie or not. Whatever movie. Yeah, if you remake that movie with that cast under the MCU, because that was the thing. It was not.
It was Fox.
Yeah, it was Sony Fox.
I think it was just Fox. It was
I don't think Fox has been just Fox for a long time.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
I know we saw it in theaters.
It was X-Men.
Yeah.
The people that made X-Men.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to try to reboot that.
Who's your fan cast for Wolverine. I think we've had this conversation before.
I don't want it.
Just fan cast Wolverine.
I don't know. Because I don't care that he's short. Okay? Like, that is the least interesting fact in the world is people like, oh, we got to get a short guy because Wolverine's short. Wolverine is whatever you say he is.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, right? Like we did Logan. Stop doing it.
Hugh Jackman got to be Wolverine.
Have you seen Logan?
Yeah, slaps.
Dude, what a good movie.
Yeah. I'm surprised you liked it. When did you watch it?
I don't know, a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. You don't generally like non-MCU superhero stuff, I feel like.
That's not true.
Really?
I've liked almost all of the Hugh Jackman.
Really?
The original X-Men movie. I love the original X-Men movies. Dude, near and dear to my heart. I mean, X-Men Origins Wolverine was terrible.
But everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Deadpool guy.
All right, I'll just tell you. My fan cast is Dacre Montgomery.
He's too tall.
He's not. He's like 5'8".
That's too tall. Wolverine's got to be like 5'2", remember?
And then Cyclops is Steve Harrington.
The thing is you're never going to beat Patrick Stewart.
Oh, for...
You're never going to beat Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. Like... Because, like, James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender couldn't do it.
Michael Fassbender was great, okay?
Yeah, but he wasn't Ian McKellen.
He wasn't Ian McKellen, but he was about as good as he could get. Michael Fassbender can do a lot of stuff.
I mean, they were the only good part of those movies.
You thought James McAvoy was the good part of that movie?
I mean, I don't really like James McAvoy, but that's about the only thing I like him in. I guess the Chronicles of Narnia, he was charming as Mr. Chumness. We should do this in person more often. It's a lot of fun. I missed you, man.
I missed you too.
God.
I'll tell you one thing. I want to talk about the break real quick, and I think we'll get more into it in the hash browns after the show.
The hash biscuits.
Which is a $5 tier on our Patreon if you want to listen to the hash biscuits. No.
Why does Apple Watch show me whole Instagram previews?
Is that Ana de Armas?
No.
Oh.
It's some person.
Actually, I take back everything I said. I want Ana de Armas to play every
Wolverine?
character in the X-Men.
Have you seen No Time to Die, the James Bond movie?
No, I'm so behind on James Bond.
It's very weird in the James Bond movie, No Time to Die, where Daniel Craig and Ana de Armas flirt with each other because she's the hot Bond girl and he's James Bond. And I'm like, no, you're Benoit Blanc and you're the girl that barfs and stuff when you can't lie. Like, this is not right.
I forgot she was in that.
Yeah, she's the lead. There's no movie I'm more excited for than Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, starring Daniel Craig and Edward Norton.
I love Edward Norton.
The cast is crazy. Hang on, there's more of them.
I know it's like
I don't remember.
I'm not gonna try to do it. I was gonna say Idris Elba's in it.
There's Ethan Hawke's in it.
Dude, Ethan Hawke's been killing it.
Yeah,
Bad news for you.
I know.
Bad news for you. Maya Hawke also killing it.
I love Maya Hawke.
So good.
We're probably not going to talk about Moon Knight, right? Like, that's not going to happen.
I think
there's so many other things to do.
What are your Marvel shows? Like, what's your favorite Marvel show?
Loki.
I don't know that...
Loki's the one I think about all the time.
I don't know that the first batch make the list for me at all.
Loki...
Ms. Marvel, I haven't even finished. I'm like...
I haven't started, so...
I'm like 2 episodes behind. Might be my all-time favorite Marvel show.
For what's worth, it's Ethan Hawke, Daniel Craig, Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, Katherine Hahn, Kate Hudson, the girl that plays Sarah Cameron on Outer Banks, Leslie Odom Jr., and Janelle Monáe.
Oh, I was in a job interview recently, and it was if you had to get dinner with one celebrity.
Did you say like Walt Disney and Janelle Monáe?
Well, I said Walt Disney, Janelle Monáe. There was a bunch of categories, and it came out to Walt Disney, Janelle Monáe, Tom Brady, and one other I can't remember.
Did you see the Tom Brady TikTok where he was like, you know, with the fam on vacation in Antigua, but they're not showing Minions Rise of Gru here?
Yeah, I saw that. So he gets on a plane.
Tom Brady, the TikTok celebrity, is my favorite iteration of Brady.
I love Tom Brady. You're like, I'm sure there's reasons not to love Tom Brady that anybody can tell me. I don't care. As a football player, I love him, and as just a meme lord,
I mean, I do want to say, like, I denied it for a long time, and I don't, I like him better as on the Bucs than I ever did on the Patriots. He's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yes.
I just want to clear the air there. Because, like, I'm a Packers fan. I love Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers maybe has the greatest ball placement of all time. He might top in a couple stats, but, like...
He's the best deep threat of all time. Deep threat QB.
Tom Brady might be the greatest team sport athlete.
Of all time.
Ever.
I did feel bad.
I mean, the greatest athlete of all time is Serena Williams.
I know, so I was going to bring that up.
Because you have...
If you win a major in anything while pregnant, you're the best.
Not even that. It's the concept of winning all 4 majors in 1 year is called a Serena Slam. That's the only statistic you need to know. If that feat, if being the best is named after you,
yeah.
Like when they renamed the Lombardi Trophy the Tom Brady Trophy, then we'll talk about greatest athlete ever, like the greatest single athlete, but like Brady above Jordan.
I do like that they named it the Ovechkin Cup. I think that's good.
I mean, if they named it after any player that wasn't Wayne Gretzky, I would drive to Toronto and burn the Hall of Fame down. I know where it is. I've been.
I've never been.
I touched the Stanley Cup.
I've never been to the Baseball Hall of Fame, but I've been to Cooperstown.
I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame and the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I've been to Cleveland and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But not where's football. It's
Canton,
in Ohio.
Canton, Ohio.
Canton, Ohio.
We should go.
We should go. Because we're football guys.
Yeah.
Above all else.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm like a motorsport guy.
You are. You're big into F1.
Big into F1, yeah.
I've noticed as I get into my late 20s, early 30s, like sports altogether
are
absolutely so much more appealing.
So I just had a full week off work, right? And originally we were going to like, Kate and I were going to travel and like do stuff. Just came down to like, we didn't really have the money. We're saving up for a wedding. So we opted to just do a staycation. And my ass got up at 7 o'clock every morning and watched the Tour de France for 5 hours.
Oh, I'm jealous. I haven't watched it at all.
It was cathartic. Just watch a bunch of dudes. There's this like 23-year-old Slovenian who's winning, and he won it for the last 2 years in a row.
Is he blood doping?
No. I mean, probably.
Right.
Probably. But like, it just like, he might legitimately be better than Lance.
That's crazy.
Because like if he keeps going at this rate, he'll win 13 in a row. Uncontested. Like, dude's insane. And he just like, he's not reserved at all. He's like, I want to win every stage.
See, that's what Lance played the game a little too much, which I think is good. That's how you become the Tom Brady of cycling, right? But
yeah, but I mean, when Lance really ran away with it, though, that's when like, because I remember being in like 3rd grade and watching Lance just like go over the top of Mont Ventoux,
right,
in the lead.
But there was I think at least two tours where Lance didn't win a single stage.
Yeah, it still won.
And still won.
Yeah.
That to me is like, I understand that you can do that. That's stupid.
I mean, I don't know if Contador won any stages when he won.
That's stupid.
I don't know that
Andy Schleck.
Andy Schleck never won.
There's a little asterisk there.
No, because he didn't even because that one that you're referring to, Contador got disqualified from. Andy Schleck was 3rd place that year.
No way.
Yeah, he lost it to Carlos Sastre, I think.
Oh man, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, man, I haven't watched the tour since my dad died, since before Paul Sherwin died. I haven't watched since like 2015 probably.
Yeah, I haven't watched.
But like, there are still names that you know.
No way.
Yeah, but also like there are names that you know like commentating on it. They'll pull up Greg Hincapie.
No
like,
way.
Yeah. And
that's crazy.
But like there were still people riding it. Like they talk about like, oh, well, Fabian Cancellara barely missed out on this year's tour. And I was like, that dude's like gotta be like 100 years old. Which, listeners, if you're about to get in the comments and talk to me and talk smack about Lance Armstrong,
don't
save it. I don't care.
I don't want to hear it at all.
I don't care. He won 7 Tours de France. He won by like an hour each time. You could give him all the drugs in the world. I don't care. You could give me all of the drugs and everybody's blood, and I wouldn't win a singles. I would fail out on the first stage. I can't ride 130 miles on a bike. No way.
30 days in a row or whatever.
I could do the 8-mile time trial. 'Cause that's how they start every tour. I'd finish dead last. But I could do the 8-mile time trial.
I did 9.5 miles today on the Peloton.
Proud of you.
I did
I haven't biked in a long time.
I know. I keep sharing my Strava rides, and I keep waiting for you to share yours.
Dude, it's just been like, I can't wake up early enough.
You said you woke up at 7 a.m. every day.
to watch the Tour de France.
To watch the tour.
Yeah. That was mental health. That was more important at that point. But like, I'm not going after work at this point.
Oh, it's so hot.
Because like, I get to my car and it says numbers that I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's crazy hot.
It's crazy
this summer.
hot. Yeah.
Today we picked up the kids and Emily was like, let's go to the park. And I was like,
no.
Are you kidding?
Are you crazy?
And Olivia, of course, was like,
Park.
yes.
Yeah.
So we went, and like 3 minutes in, Emily's 7 months pregnant. She was like, I'm going to go sit in the car. And I was like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. You're insane.
I tried to get Olivia to run a mile with me to wear her out. She wasn't going for it.
Wasn't having it. Yeah. It was dummy hot today. And then there was a hurricane on my way over. I'm still wet from that. Like,
I want to talk briefly about the break.
Okay.
3 months off. We did it because, I mean, I had a lot going on in my life, and I don't know if you did. I imagine you did. Anyway, the whole thing was like, if we take this break, I'll get a mental health break from, I don't know. Long story short, it was worse. Not doing it was worse.
Yeah, and like, we both like made it weird, and like,
we didn't hardly talk at all, which was weird. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I just don't use my phone that much, honestly. Like,
well, you get dialed in at work, I've noticed. So if it's between like 9 and 5.
Oh yeah, I do get dialed in at work.
Yeah, so
I'm either talking to people or working.
Right. And I think so that's something. I think the show and like the whole idea surrounding the show and the community of it, like I think we've learned a lot about what it means to run this both as a business and as a community and just as like a cornerstone of our friendship.
Yeah.
And a lot of what we learned wasn't lining up with how we were doing it.
Yeah. We were half-assing it.
And I'm not willing to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
which is why we're here in person
on video.
assing it.
And maybe this looks terrible, but the thing.
But this is as assed as it's going to get for now.
This is giving every bit of attention to it I can.
This is more assed than it's probably ever been.
Right. So,
except for like year one.
But like, dude, if you're getting into a podcast, like doing a podcast, I don't know how to explain it. It's hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. You have to love it.
You do. And I do love it.
I do love it.
Yeah, things got weird, and now they're not. And we're just doing it again because it was weird not to do it.
It was weird not to do it. It was really challenging for me, and I'll be more candid about it in the hash press because I want to tell the story.
Yeah, Tyler had some stuff go down. You really went through like a whole character arc while we were gone.
Like I'm like a whole new person.
Yeah, it's wild.
Thor: Love and Thunder. What do you think of Love being? I don't know if that's the character's name, but she was never named in the movie, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If she was, I missed it. And that's what people are calling her.
Is Love?
Yeah.
What do you think of that being Hemsworth's like real life daughter?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he posted on Instagram the other day a picture of like her first day on set and then like her first day like when he was doing Thor with Kenneth Branagh. Yeah. And then her last day on set when he was doing Thor: Love and Thunder.
Well, that's adorable.
And I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also watched an interview with Stranger Things. There was a thing where I think it was Stranger Things. I don't know what it was. There was a thing where somebody's like real life daughter was in the show, but not playing their daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it was Stranger Things. I don't know what it was.
So I don't know how many people in Stranger Things have kids.
Doesn't Winona Ryder have kids?
I have no idea. For some reason, I don't think so.
I take it back. Winona Ryder can play Wolverine. David Harbour is Cyclops.
David Harbour can play anything.
David Harbour. I watched his Hot Ones interview today. It's old. It's not
Yeah.
old, but it's from the press tour for
Season 3.
No,
for
Black Widow.
Yeah.
And just hearing him talk shop and talk about his acting method is really, really fascinating. I highly recommend it. And also, I really want to do Hot Ones on Bacon and Eggs.
Yeah, we can do that.
I want to do it so bad.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, there's a scene in Stranger Things 4 where he explains his backstory.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
That we'll talk more about that because
Yeah.
that's one of the scenes from Stranger Things 4 that like really stuck with me. So
Yeah.
we'll talk more about that in our Stranger Things episode.
Did we do an hour 15?
I think we cut it back to 75.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not trying to cut you short. I'm just
No, yeah. I mean, I don't have. We can keep talking about Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't know how much I have to say about Thor: Love and Thunder because I don't want to I don't want to just crap on it, right? But I don't.
That's exactly how I feel.
But I can't remember anything I liked about it.
I know, and it stresses me out to sit down and talk about it because what comes to mind when I think about it is well, what was a detail about the movie? Oh, Russell Crowe was in it. I hated it.
Oh my God, yeah. So I was a defender of Russell Crowe playing Zeus in the movie to begin with, because the Snyderverse fans were like, "We did Zeus right," and they've just made Zeus a joke. And I'm like, there are allowed to be different portrayals on things. Like, they're Greek gods. Like, they're allowed to be goofy and funny. No, I was wrong.
It was
wrong. And there was no purpose for him to be in the movie other than to set up a post-credit scene.
Well, and to give him the lightning bolt.
He didn't need the lightning bolt. He'd have been fine.
I know. That frustrated me.
He'd have been fine.
They did not explain why the lightning bolt.
Because at the end of the day, the whole premise for the movie is weak. Because he needs Gore needs Stormbreaker to use a Bifrost.
Yeah.
That's the whole premise of the movie.
I did hold on.
Which is not even a power that they said Stormbreaker had.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, so when Thor shows up in Infinity War, they use the Bifrost to get there, and Stormbreaker is what brings them there.
Okay.
So that is an established power.
Okay. Well, I didn't remember that.
That's a big scene, man.
But that being the whole premise of Thor: Love and Thunder is weak.
But the one thing I did absolutely love is the relationship between Thor and Stormbreaker.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Every time Stormbreaker just cuts into the shot,
I mean, it was well executed. It was too much.
They did play it out a little too far.
And it was one of those things where I think if you got rid of the goats, then I would like Stormbreaker. Or I think if you got rid of Stormbreaker, I might like the goats. It was just one too many running gags.
There's no way you could have used the goats that much and me still like the goats. But the timing of the joke was off. It would happen. This has been the big complaint I see is that throughout the film you lean too heavy on the jokes. I don't think that's necessarily the problem.
You just didn't lean on anything else.
I think the scene between Gore and his god is the biggest failure in the film. Not even the CG. It is that Gore becomes the God Butcher because this god sucks.
Yeah.
That to me, in a pantheon of multiple deities, you find out yours sucks, so you go on a killing spree of all the gods. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Have you seen what Christianity is doing to America right now?
But Christians think
just completely unchecked by God.
But Christians think there's only one God.
Right.
Gore knows that there are more.
I can see some young, queer child right now feeling just absolutely abandoned by Christianity, abandoned by their, Alabama right-wing family, abandoned by their God, and calling forth an unholy rage that would allow them to summon the Necro Sword. And then to go from there to well, if this God's real, the rest of them might be. Who knows? I have no problem believing that if there is one God, then there are all the gods.
I'm still not Team Gore.
I'm not saying I'm Team Gore.
You shouldn't kill God.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I understand it as commentary, not as practice.
Gore the God Butcher.
I can understand where Gore came from.
I do also like how this is a return to the small Marvel villain. I mean, I like one of the things I don't like.
It's wild that the God Butcher
The God Butcher
can be a small Marvel villain.
to a god, sure.
Although Kevin Feige talking about like, we're about to introduce the next Thanos level threat, and I'm like, can you not? Can you just not? Let's don't say we did.
So I've only watched 3 episodes of Miss Marvel, so I could be wrong. This may change.
I don't think Kamala Khan is the next Thanos level threat.
No, I think you will like Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel because it is not a Thanos level threat.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, that's mostly what I like about Moon Knight is that it was entirely self-contained.
Exactly.
Oh, man, we were talking about Ethan Hawke earlier.
Right, he's in Moon Knight. Duh.
What a twist.
I haven't seen the end of Moon Knight.
You haven't?
No,
Like, how much of it have you seen?
maybe 3 episodes.
Dang. Never mind then.
Yeah, I actually need to sit down and watch it like with intent.
Then we might need to cover Moon Knight.
Okay.
Because, like,
I know there's a twist, and now I'm stressed.
There's not a twist.
I watched Ethan Hawke kill a granny.
There's not a twist from a, like... I mean, there is a twist. It's a Marvel movie. Like, there's a twist. You know? Like, but there's a twist from, like a meta, like an acting perspective.
Interesting.
Where, like, he was way overplaying the main character so he could do something else.
I need to watch it.
Yeah, you do.
So Gore the God Butcher. Here's what I like and dislike about
Hey,
Gore the God
listeners,
Butcher.
count the amount of times that Tyler segued us back to
Gore the God Butcher.
to Thor: Love and Thunder by saying, "So Gore the God Butcher."
Here's what I like and dislike about
You
Gore the
can't
God
call it
Butcher.
Gore, right? It's Gore the God Butcher.
That's such a good name.
It's just his whole name, like Marcelo Shell Shoes on.
Yeah.
We should review that movie.
Review that. Yeah.
It's not playing here anywhere.
Isn't that even in Grandin?
Nope,
Dang.
because Grandin opted to show
Minions.
Minions of Top Gun, and
Thor: Love and Thunder.
I mean it was out before Thor: Love and
I
Thunder.
know.
Yeah. So Gore the God Butcher.
Here's what I like is that it is a small contained battle between Thor and Gore, which that's a joke right there that Taika Waititi absolutely missed.
Didn't make, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that they are the same word.
Yeah. What I dislike is that like Gore goes to the center of the entire universe to make like a once in eternity wish.
Yeah.
Like just wastes that. I mean, doesn't waste it. You know, obviously, wish for a girl's life is perfectly valid. But it's just like. Also, I love the idea in my mind that love is now immortal.
Right. Well, she's a celestial.
Right.
Like, because eternity was a celestial, and she's eternity.
Right.
She's the singularity.
Right.
That's the theory. There's a Marvel character called the Singularity.
Oh.
And that's the
But I don't
theory.
like that it had to get that big, right? That like we were able to go to the center of the universe. I recently watched the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and like the Lizard is solved by Gwen Stacy putting together.
I mean, that's always been the best thing about Spider-Man, and that was the big problem, honestly, with Spider-Man No Way Home.
Is it too big?
Like, Spider-Man fights dudes in New York, right? Like, he fights dudes, like guys.
Spider-Man fights a guy.
Spider-Man fights a guy. Spider-Man fights a guy with robot arms.
Right.
Spider-Man fights
a guy turned
Topher
lizard.
Grace.
But that's like the answer in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, which, by the way, I've been hard on people who like the Amazing Spider-Man movies or are just coming.
I've been saying this all along.
Those movies are extremely good.
I've been saying this all
the
along.
first one specifically
fantastic
is
movie.
unbelievably
So
good. And like the immediate on-screen chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone
they're
is like,
so comic booky
oh my
too.
god.
Like, people are like, he's such a bad Spider-Man, he's such a bad Peter Parker, and I'm like, he's not actually.
No, he's so good. He's not a good. Not that he's not a good Spider-Man. I think I don't know who directed him. Didn't give enough Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But like, I mean, Andrew Garfield, right? And honestly, Emma Stone, right?
Yeah. Oscar contenders.
Both of them, yeah. Emma Stone.
Yeah, but like George
won an
Clooney was
Oscar?
Batman, and that was bad.
A, no, it wasn't. B,
Yes, it was.
okay, listen, yeah, but it wasn't.
He's a good Bruce Wayne.
I love those movies, all of them, all four of them.
George Clooney as Batman?
Well, just the original.
There's only one George Clooney Batman.
But the original 4 Batmen.
Is that all continuity?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, that's all continuity.
I only ever watched Batman plus Robin.
I only ever watched Batman Forever. Val Kilmer.
Did you see Top
Rest in
Gun?
peace,
No, you
probably.
don't like Top Gun.
I don't like Top Gun.
Oh, man.
I don't like the original Top Gun. I don't like Tom Cruise. I have no desire to see the new one.
You know Val Kilmer's not dead, right?
Yeah, but he's gonna be.
So are we all.
No, but he's like dying.
Yeah, but he was in Top Gun.
Dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iceman.
Yeah. He was like barely alive.
Yeah. Iceman.
You should watch Tombstone.
Was Val Kilmer in Tombstone?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
man,
like one of the
that-
leads.
It's a Bacon and Eggs review on Tombstone. You can click here to
Yeah.
watch that.
Me and James Swindell. Yeah, it's Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer and Sam Elliott and I think Kurt Russell's brother, maybe.
Chris Pratt.
It's not Chris Pratt.
I bet
That was
it
the
is.
Magnificent Seven that he remade.
Chris Pratt is in every movie.
Chris Pratt's a homophobe.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's not
He's
very-
like super Christian.
I know he's super Christian, but I don't think he's a homophobe.
He is. Also, those are one and the same at this point.
Well, that's not good.
For the most part. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of people that are offended by that. And there's going to be a lot of people, or a fair few people that are reasonably offended by that. But, like,
But I think there's also going to be a fair few people that wholeheartedly agree
Chris
with
Pratt
that.
refuses to speak out against Christianity.
Well, because he's a Christian.
Yeah, but you should still be, even if you believe, you should be appalled by the things that are happening in the name of God right now.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. There's a lot of people's issues with cops. It's like, I understand not all cops are bad.
That's
right?
my issue with John Krasinski. John Krasinski loves cops.
Right. Well, he was in that cop movie or cop show. Jack Reacher, military thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The CIA is a treasure. Quote, John Krasinski.
Yeah.
I love being spied on.
Let's do some scores, man. Let's get a Bacon and Eggs
Scored
score.
the God Butcher?
Yeah, score the God Butcher. So just to recap the scores before you give me the listener score, Ethan, I gave it a 70, you gave it a 65, Rotten Tomatoes a 67, Metacritic a 57, and Rotten Tomatoes audience is an 80. What is the listener score?
71.
71. That is the best score on here. No, it's not. The Rotten Tomatoes audience.
A lot of people liked it on the Bacon and Eggs Discord and Facebook. A lot of people didn't like it, but like nobody said 40.
Right.
Like I think the lowest was 55.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's a lot of like 55 to
There were
75.
no hundreds, but no tens.
Yes. I did see a 50 on Discord.
This movie's fine.
That's what a lot of people said.
Yeah, this movie's fine, right? Like, I honestly wouldn't say, oh, go see it. You're missing out. But I wouldn't say like, don't go. If you're interested in it, don't go see it.
Right. I think, yeah.
It's definitely probably the worst Taika Waititi movie.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Clay was asking us if she should see it.
She was like, I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. And I'm like, then no.
Right.
Because
Catch up first.
That whole part with the 5-minute scene where Matt Damon and Sam Neill reenact the first 10 minutes of Thor Ragnarok, like almost one for one. Yeah, you're not going to get that.
I did enjoy the Matt Damon stuff.
Oh, it was great. Especially when he came back and he's like, we should do a scene about this.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I
That was a good recall.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff going on here that I think we missed a lot of stuff in this conversation.
Oh, definitely.
I was looking at the comments on Discord and people were talking about the SCB review, and which is where you work.
It is, but I haven't heard or watched the SCB review. I've been working for the past 2 days on Carlin Brothers Box Breakers.
I've heard that that's going up.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, Kayla pointed out that the reason Stormbreaker keeps coming to Thor is that like Thor is now questioning his worthiness again, which is why he keeps calling Mjolnir.
Yeah.
And Stormbreaker's there to remind him like, you don't need a hammer. You just are worthy.
Yeah. You are Thor.
Right. And
It's like whomsoever shall be worthy may possess the power of Thor. Like you just have the power.
right.
now.
You're just already Thor.
Like, hey, Odin's dead. He can't take it away from you again.
right.
He can't scold you for a second time.
And you can give it to a bunch
Here's
of kids.
the real thing, and this is what we might not be giving enough credit for. Thor 1 might slap.
Thor 1 was pretty good.
I don't remember hardly anything about it. I know that most of it takes place in like a disused car dealership.
Did I give you the score?
The total score? No, I don't think so.
Is a 68.4.
68.4.
Which rounds down to 68, of course.
But no, so I don't know what Ben and Jonathan said about it. I never actually got to talk to them about it because they asked me to make an 80s rock version of the SCB intro song.
I heard that they did that.
Yeah.
So how did you do that? Like, did you do it
I went home and played guitar for 2 hours.
But did you do like a Metallica thing? Like, dun, 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 dun.
So originally, because the SCB intro is like in like E flat Phrygian diminished.
Well, that's good for 80s rock.
No, it's good for like metal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they didn't want. I don't think they wanted metal because like originally I did it because it's like that's the way it goes, and so I did those like as like chugs, like and it was like very like Metallica, like creeping death. And I was like, no, I got to do this. So what I ended up coming up with, I'll play it for you. I'm actually pretty proud of this, just because it was like something I did in like 2 hours that, you know, is music that got released to the world. Hold on. I don't know where I put it. There it is.
Oh, you went more like Styx. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. I was pretty stoked on that.
It's got like a Tron thing to it. Yeah. You Tron, 40 years this year.
I've seen the original Tron once.
I've never seen it.
It's all right. It's not as good as Tron Legacy.
I'd be curious to see it just to... I think it's probably like, what, 90 minutes?
I have no idea.
I bet it'd be hard to sit through.
I don't think it has Separate Ways by Journey in it. Which is the third greatest placement of music in media ever. Third behind Run Up That Hill and Master of Puppets.
I never enjoyed Running Up That Hill.
Oh, I don't like that song.
At no point in the series was I like, yes, Max's favorite Kate Bush song.
The last girl I dated before Kate was a big Kate Bush fan.
No way.
Yeah. So I knew that song ahead of time.
That's crazy.
And when it started showing up on TikTok, I was like, please God, no.
No, not now.
I mean, listen, Hounds of Love's a good album. That's like the 5th best song on that record.
Is that the Kate Bush album?
Yeah. If you want to listen to a good Kate Bush track, go for Cloud Busting. But no, honestly, apparently Separate Ways was played in one of the trailers.
Here we stand.
But I was just thinking about Tron and was thinking about how Max's favorite song should have been Separate Ways, Worlds Apart.
You know, this table. Eat the ever-loving out of this table to Worlds Apart by Journey. Apart.
That was a big song for us back in our party days. We threw some ragers back then.
We had a party house.
You remember this was the greatest play ever. You remember the $5 cover charge unless you bring a pumpkin?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think about that every single day of my life.
Greatest movie ever. Listeners, we had like 40 pumpkins.
That's all I wanted.
That's all I wanted was a bunch of pumpkins.
I didn't want to collect money from anybody.
Awesome. It's part of why the cops called on us. And Emily, Brent, and I had to pretend to be a couple because we were the only two human beings like sober enough out of the house. You were vomiting.
I was vomiting like the color green.
Yellow. It was yellow because I remember Emily, your wife now wife was like, Tyler's barfing yellow and I don't know what to do about it. And I'm standing there talking to a police officer with my arm around Emily Brent, Phil's girlfriend, and just like, yeah, officer, me and my girlfriend here are just hanging out Halloween. Because you're not at a party, are you? We heard there was a party going on this block. And I was like, no, sir, not us. No way. No how.
He knew.
There are 30, he knew. There are 40 people upstairs in our 25-person occupancy house. Our house that had like a safety rating.
He knew, though. I think that's the thing, like looking back, every time I thought a teacher,
I think he busted Colin Muth's house and then just like started looking around for other parties.
Anytime I thought a teacher or a cop or anybody didn't know, they knew.
I don't think that cop knew. I'm pretty confident that cop didn't know because he was like mad.
Good.
That guy was like, "There's parties going on tonight in this neighborhood.
There's
underage people drinking," and I was like, "Not in this house. They would never." Sir, we're just about to go do some trick or treating with some friends. You're taking their kids out.
Not that anybody should drink underage. Or do. Whatever. I'm not your dad.
90% of the people.
Unless you're my children.
90% of the people at that party were not underage.
No, yeah, I would say we were really good about, like, if you were underage, you lived on campus. So, like, it was a hassle.
Because I was the Eddie Munson in that situation. I had already graduated.
So had Emily Brent.
Yeah.
Classic college. Anyway, we're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
Thanks for listening to Bacon and Eggs, a movie lovers podcast. Available Spotify, YouTube, wherever else you get your podcasts.
Man, I used to have the outro down. I used to have a whole thing I said. I don't remember a word of it now.
We don't have to do like music. Andrew Scott Bell.
Graphics. Music by Andrew Scott Bell or graphics by Vaishon Brandon.
You should listen to other podcasts by our friends. Like that's what I'm talking about. She's in the Silmarillion now, and she's great. That's Mary Clay Watt. She's a comedian. She lives in Richmond. She has a slumlord.
I make a podcast called Late to the Party.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is that still going?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It had like the opposite hiatus, where we were on hiatus like until
this was on hiatus.
Yeah, this was on hiatus, yeah. And then we unhiatused.
Okay, well that's good. That's cool. I didn't know that was still going.
You know what? Like, listen to Popcorn Culture. We've always been kind of weird about that in the past, but like, that's Tyler Brothers podcast. It's good. I do it every week. Like, I spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, you should listen to Popcorn Culture. You should also listen to... Ooh, what podcasts have you been listening to?
Dungeons and Daddies.
You have?
It's fantastic.
I'm so proud of you.
It's fantastic.
I knew it'd be good.
I hated it for the longest time. I don't know why. It just like it was too many people. It was the wrong vibe for me at the time. And then I finally was just like, you know what? I'm out of Taz. I need another D&D podcast. Like everybody likes this one. It's hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical.
Can I tell you one benefit of
I cried a lot.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Can I tell you one benefit of the hiatus? I've always been really self-conscious to you about the fact that I really like the self-help community and like I get so sucked in, but like
I know you do.
I don't want
I hate this stuff.
I know you
I don't want you to not like this stuff because I don't.
I know, but because you don't, I always feel like I literally anytime I listen to a podcast or watch a video, I'm like, hold on, before I buy into this, what would Ethan say about it? Which I think is a good check.
Sure, but I also think that you and I have both let that get in the way of open communication between the two of us for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, because like I am not afraid to be myself around you, but I'm afraid of some parts of myself around you for no reason. Where I'm like, Tyler's going to judge me. And at one point that may have been true. But like, you and I have both existed as dozens of different people in this relationship at this point. We met when we were 12.
Yes.
Like... we're both 29 years old. We've known each other for 17 years. Like
I know. More than half my life. Like way more than half my life.
Yeah. I was in your wedding. You're going to be in my wedding. Like
anyway, I've been listening to the Jay Shetty podcast.
I don't know who that is.
He is he was an Indian monk and now he is like a self-help guru and love it.
That's excellent.
Really,
I'm so proud of you.
I've been reading a lot of self-help type books.
Nice.
I'm about to go back into like a corporate job that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I listened to during the hiatus. I think during the hiatus. Yeah, absolutely. I listened to the Trojan Horse Affair, which is a serial production, which is like non-violent true crime.
Ooh, fun.
Which is the only kind of true crime I really like at this point.
You know, I find I've resisted true crime a lot, and I'll let you share your story, but I'm just going to make it about me.
There's not really a story, just that I liked that podcast. Also, I watched Only Murders in the Building, which is a show that just shits on true crime as a genre, and it's hilarious for that reason.
Emily listens to Morbid, which I'm sure listeners of this show listen to.
Morbid.
I also hate Morbid, but also I get so freaking sucked
Oh,
in.
dude, same. Same. Like, I've listened to every episode of And That's Why We Drink, which isn't even that good of a podcast. We just went to college with one of the hosts.
Right.
Which is like a huge podcast to have gone to college with one of the hosts, but
Yes.
like I know them. But I don't like true crime. Hardly at all. I don't want to hear about murders.
That's exactly the thing.
I want to hear about the ghost stuff, because half of it's ghost stuff. I always want to hear about the ghost stuff.
I like the ghost stuff. I even like the murder stuff. But I also, like, I don't want to give the murders the credit, you know?
It's one of those things where, like, I can't put on the murder documentary on Netflix, but I can let Kate put it on, pretend to not want to, pretend to not want to be interested in it, and then come in halfway through the first episode and sit down with the popcorn and be like, John Wayne Gacy really killed all these people, didn't he?
I love this. But yeah, I can't. Like my mother.
My dad went to elementary school with the son of Sam.
I don't know what that is.
He's a murderer.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, he was one of the biggest serial killers ever. David Berkowitz.
What was I saying? My mother-in-law really likes those like true crime like network television shows.
Oh, like Criminal Minds?
Yeah, but not the nonfiction one, or not the fiction ones, like the nonfiction ones.
I don't know what those are.
Like 60 Minutes, but it's
but
okay. Not 60 Minutes. I can't think of what it's called.
To Catch a Predator.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm always like, this is so stupid. I'm obsessed. I have to know. But that's how they get you. A good mystery.
I just watch cars go around in circles, man. That's basically all I do. That's not work and podcast stuff.
I watch baseball highlights.
Nice.
I actually am like a relatively big Mets fan, which is like so stupid now because they're extremely good.
Yeah.
Which is
but
like
we called it.
We
called it. We were like Bacon and Eggs becomes huge Mets fans.
And then they get good.
Yeah. Meet the Mets, greet the Mets, step right up and beat the Mets.
I bought a nonfiction book about the Mets.
About the Mets?
About the Mets.
I can't watch or read nonfiction. That's my big crux. Let's wrap this episode, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for listening to Bacon and Eggs. We appreciate you being here. We're so happy to be back. Being back is the best.
It really is.
Look at this wall. This is unfinished drywall.
Yeah, it's painted. It's not painted. I thought you painted this purple and green. I'm not going to lie to you until this
No. It says mold resistant right there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera.
We're probably going to paint this wall something. We're going to decorate the set. We might get a table that's better.
This one was from our college house.
Yeah.
People wrote on it. I don't know if the listener can see it, but right there on the front, it says, "Don't be a dick."
There's definitely some cuss words on this table.
Yeah.
It's a drawing of a turtle. I think it was done by Alexis Cosner.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah. She was cool. A lot of cool people.
She lived in 104J.
Yep.
Did we just dox her from like 10 years ago?
I honestly don't even know that she is still a she, her, or goes by Alexis Cosner, honestly.
I believe she does, but
Okay.
I don't know.
I think one of them,
One
of the 104Js.
Summer and Amber.
Summer Clegg.
Summer Clegg, Amber. Their names are right here.
Yeah.
That's why I know.
Forgot about Summer Clegg.
I wouldn't have gotten Amber. I would have gotten Summer Clegg.
I don't remember Amber's last name.
I don't either.
Maybe I do. I don't know. Anyway, this has been another episode of Bacon and Eggs. Our graphics are by Vaishon Brandon. Our music's by Andrew Scott Bell. That's Vaishon Brandon Vaishon Designs on Instagram and AndrewScottBellMusic.com. Bacon and Eggs is a production of the WB&E Podcast Network, which is sort of a thing that still exists, mostly because we haven't gotten around to formally dissolving it.
I don't even know if I'd include that.
Yeah.
I just don't mention WB&E.
Okay. That's fine. Bye.
Arrivederci.
Oh, right. I forgot to sign off. I've been the natural husband, Tyler Carly. Until next time, arrivederci.
Antoine Randall L. Antoine?
Antoine Randall L. Yeah.
Antoine or Anquan?
Antoine.
Antoine Randall L.
Yeah. I would have got. It's Anquan Bolden. I don't know who Anquan Bolden is, but it's Anquan Bolden.
Okay.
I would have just gone with Ann Thunder.
Oh, well, we talked about sports a little bit.